Belum.
Okay lah.
Okay, serious mode on.
FAIZA.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Hai.
wabarakatuh. My name is
Waalaikumsalam.
Husna binti Muhammad Faizal, and I am an architectural student from Islamic Science University of Malaysia, and my metric number is 1201062. So today, I'm gonna be presenting my first design project, which is the individual design studio pod that I did together with my other friends during our first semester studies in USIM. Starting with a little bit of the design brief of the project, the main aim of this project is to heighten the awareness of students about the human body, the interaction of space and body, and the exploration of the role of reasoning and logic in shaping a form. From this project, students are required to learn 4 things by the end of it. First, to explore the objective parameters of design process through solving real-life architectural problems. Second is to be able to distinguish and discern the role of scale and proportion in the relationship between the human body and a design space or enclosure. Third is the understanding of human factor to the design of space, including its size, its shape, and how appropriate it is for a task to be done. This includes why. This is to improve the comfort, safety, and the productivity of a human in the pod, in a space. As for the requirement of the project, we are required to design a space, a maximum of 12 meter square space for a 24-hour use for single occupancy. The pod is to be located inside of the design studio in USIM. All activities in this pod are to be related to design studio works, and consideration should be addressed to comfort working condition, including lighting, where the light will come from, the storage area for the architectural tools and all the files and stuff, and also the individual health. And fourth, the social distancing, while not limited for interaction with lecturers and other friends. Lastly, it should also can be used to display as a display panel for our design portfolio in the studio later. Through designing the limited space, we will explore more about the role of function and objective parameters in the design process. 3D dimensional thinking, looking from different angles, applying different types of drawings such as plans, ground floor plans, sections, we have also elevation rather than just a mere sketches of drawing. And also creative models, not to forget the mock-up models and also the other models to help in developing the design of the confined space area. Now, enough with the briefing on the design requirement. Now let's move on to the design development process. As it is an individual studio pod designed for my own use, I started off my design process by getting to know myself more. This is said more into searching what my individual needs are and what are the issues that I am currently struggling with while doing my design work before I carefully deciding on what is the best design concept and ideation for my pod. So there are all 3 issues that I hope to overcome, which are first, the afraid of staying alone for a long period of time inside of an enclosed area. Second, the feeling of loneliness. And also third, my struggle to stay focused. Okay, the challenge here is to have a space where I can feel the people's presence, where I can be able to see the lecturers, the teachers, my studio mates inside of the studio. being transparent toward the other people outside of the pod, but also at the same time, I also want my own private space, my own private area where I can have my own time to focus and find for my ideation and inspiration and my to find for ideas for any kind of design project that I'm gonna do there. Next, the Nucleaverse that I referred to as my reference in this design pod studio is a hadith that was narrated by Imam Bukhari, which said searching for knowledge and learning is required and also compulsory for each Muslim in this world. So here we can understand that learning and seeking for knowledge is very vital in human life. Why so? It is because only with only with ilmu, with knowledge, we can change our lifestyle, we can improve ourselves towards betterment. Accordingly, the concept for this design is clarity. Okay, clarity. What is the definition of clarity? The definition of clarity by Merriam-Webster is defined as the quality or state of being clear. Clear. Why did I choose clarity as a concept? As I am struggling to stay focused for a long period of time, together with the feeling of afraid of being alone that I stated earlier, I need to have a space where it can give me the highest quality or state of a clear mind to help me keep my focus on well-being inside of the pod. And also, this can also be called as mental clarity. When someone has a mental clarity, have a clear state of mind, it can help him to uh, to know what is his purpose in life, what is his purpose inside of the pod, what he should be, right? Okay, so from there, the ideation that fit the best for the design came from the characteristic of a diamond. So why diamond? Many know that diamond and clarity are two things are that are related to each other. Diamond has its own kind of clarity. What kind is it? Diamond clarity is a qualitative metric that grades the visual appearance that we can see of each diamond. The fewer the inclusions and also the blemishes the diamond has, the better the clarity grade is. So now let's get to know a little bit on the diamond background. Um, on the diamond background. So diamond is a very rare, naturally occurring mineral composed of carbon. By character, diamond is the hardest known natural substance. So, and it is also chemically resistant and has the highest thermal conductivity of any other natural chemical material. Other than that, diamond also has a special optical properties such as a high index of refraction and high dispersion of light. Because diamond is composed of carbon, of element of carbon, many people believe that it must have been formed uh, from charcoal, from the black coal. That is still taught in classroom, but it is not true at all. It's not. Actually, they were created deep, deep, deep down within the planet Earth, where carbon was subjected to high temperature and also pressure, forming it into a very perfect diamond crystal. So how is this related to ourselves as an architect, and also to the concept that I stated earlier is that the same goes to this idea where a person or an architect will face lots of pressure and challenges, right? While searching and designing a best masterpiece that we're gonna be designing. So it is all through this hardship, through this experience, through this journey that an architect will go through that will create the best design ideas and also the best version of the architect itself. I mean, all the struggles and all the journey that he or her will go through, that's what will shape him or her as an architect of who as an architect he or she is. So from all the characteristic and understanding about the diamond study earlier, there are four ideation that I have come up with for my design ideas. First one is to form or to construct the pod using an angular shape or form. So what is it? An angular shape is a shape having one or more sharp angles. So here is some of the example of angular shape form that I use as when I search for it. So this is the example to show uh, from where the ideation of angular shape form can came from and how it's gonna look like. So it's gonna give you like a hint on how the design is gonna look like. So here I'm gonna list it here. So second, transparency. I'm going to be using a different level of transparency to be applied at the point. So as like diamond, there are three different levels of transparency, which are opaque, translucent, and also transparent. This will be arranged to divide the privacy area apart from the public ones. Third is to use natural lighting so that we can reduce the use of light and energy. Fourth, fragmented. How are we going to use fragment in our design? In my design is by fragmenting several parts of the pot from the pot. It would make it more easier for the pot to be to um, to move outside of the design studio and also for its mobility. So moving on to the design process of the studio pod, I started off my studio pod by drawing a rectangular box, and then I started to um, to give it an angular shape and form to it until I get my final design. So I'll continue to the drawing, the section, the elevation, and also the ground floor plan. At the ground floor plan, you can see um, there is a drawing table there, and also there is a chair for a single occupancy to sit, and there is also a storage area at the back where it is more like a hanging place for you to hang all of those architectural tools and materials. So the materials that I'm going to use for my pot is basically a wood panel, a timber wood, and also a perspex. Why I'm not using a mirror? Because mirror is more heavier than a perspex. So here we're trying to search for a material that is light, so that it will be easier for mobility of the pot. For the mobility of the pot. So, uh, and then for the color of the pot, I'm gonna be using the natural color from the wood, from the timber wood, and also the different kind of transparency of the perspex, which uh, first one or the opaque will come from the timber wood, and then we're gonna be having a translucent perspex. Uh, at between the public and also the private area. And lastly, we're gonna be using a transparent perspex at the front, at the very front of the pod, where it will enable you, or when it will be enable me to see the lecturers who are teaching at the front, or to have any interaction between my lecturers, between my friends, so that it will be easier. And also it it works as a division between the other people of the outside and me in the inside of the studio. So it will still have the private area at the back of the pod, while being public to other people at the front. So here I'm gonna be sharing my mock-up models that I made before while in the design process. So there are actually three different kind of structures that you can see here, all based from the angular form or shape. And from there, I started. I I give it more improvement. I improve a lot, and I refer to my lecturers. And after a lot of alterment, after a lot of changes, this is how my design studio part turns out like. So there are perspex in front of it, and at the middle, I cover up with translucent perspex that will give like a semi-private area where it can also be public but private at the same time. And then at the behind of it, we have the private space for me to have my me time. It is covered up with the timber wood to give it the opacity effect, because it can't be seen through. And also, as you can see, there is also like a dotted holes at the timber wood, right? So here actually it's also like kind of look like a semi-private area when you can adjust uh, where you want to hang your when I want to hang my architectural tools, so that maybe this part you want to make it public, or maybe you want to play hide and seek with your friends, I don't know, maybe. And also uh, it can close up the area that you want to keep it private. So that's how the concept is. It is adjustable, and then there is also some parts of the part where we can separate it and turn it into a much more smaller pieces, so it will be easier for mobility. And also there is a door, a rotating door at the pod, which enables me to come in and come out. And also this is where the panel, the board panel for the design portfolio is gonna be put on. And then we also have um, a table, a drawing table at the front, uh, um, a drawing table at the front, and also a chair to sit for one single occupancy. So how I'm going to construct this mobile studio pod is shown at the last presentation board that I had. So I'm going to be using, in Malay they call it as tanggam, to separate and also to connect all these separated panels, separated pieces to construct up a design studio pod. There are three different types of it. It will be put at the designated areas. At the corner, it has a design of tanggam, and also the other areas is gonna be used using another different of tanggam, and here we have three of them, as you can see at the presentation board. So the conclusion for my design studio pod is it can help solve my issue, which I'm afraid of being alone, and also the struggle that I have to stay focused for a long period of time. And so with this pod designed with this kind of ideation, with the ideation of a diamond, it can help me to overcome my feeling of being afraid. Uh, my it can help overcome my feeling of being afraid of staying alone, but at the same time it can also give me my own private space where I can search for ideation, for inspiration. Yeah, we're human, we can't stay at public for a long time. Like, we also need our own privacy, our own private place where uh, we can reflect to ourselves, we can take a rest, and also a place where we can find for inspiration uh, when we feel like stuck at times. And that's how I conclude my design. And the ideation of the diamond here helps me to be like a diamond itself. Where the diamond here, uh, where the diamond here, for you to have a clear state of mind, you have to find it. You have to struggle for it. The clear state of mind won't come by itself, but you have to create it. How to create it? You must know yourself. You must know what you need to be clear, what you need to be uh, focused at times for a long time. And by having a clear state of mind, I hope it will help me to be more focused in the future while being inside of the pod. That's all from me, Faiza Hussain binti Muhammad Faiza. Thank you.
Dah macam berita dah Okay. So siapa nak komen dulu? Sila. Kenapa terharu sangat ke?
Aku start dulu. Sekali Faiza cara penyampaian yang santai. Lepas tu dia macam straightforward lah. Kalau tengok balik dia punya board dia board yang awal. Board yang tu. Kalau kita tengok sini boleh tengok dia punya layout dia. Layout board dia yang cantik. Lepas tu dia warnakan dia punya lukisan dia. Lepas tu nampak lah yang macam konsep dia, clarity. Yang nak jelaskan ideation dia diamond. Nampak lah. Lepas tu dia cakap kan dia ada masalah isu tentang dia takut berseorangan. Tapi at the same time dia nak duduk dalam buat studio pot tu. So dia punya aku rasa design dia berjaya lah kat sini sebab dia dapat menyelesaikan isu dia. Itu je aku rasa. Tuan Faiza, good job, well done.
Yang lain? Alia.
Ya. There's a masalah.
Aku suka dia punya construction detail. Maksudnya kebanyakan daripada kita tak buat construction detail. Dia buat. So macam itulah dia punya lebihan dia tu lah. So macam lepas tu all of us kita kan belajar online kan. Lepas tu lagi satu kita punya model tu dekat studio. So maybe kalau ada model untuk semua lah actually. Kalau ada model lebih senang kan nak tunjuk mana pintu, mana window whatever. So kita punya kekurangan lah semua kan. Lepas tu lagi satu dia punya presentation okay, banyak point. Tapi aku rasa maybe dia punya projection tu kena lebih sikit. Aku rasa dia macam boring dia. Itulah. Tapi dia okay je lah. So, okay.
Ipek play sikit. Nanti Ipek jangan tidur tu.
Adik habis.
Okay. Macam ni. No offense.
Okay lagi.
It's gonna be
Okay Nisa.
Faiza dia punya what I like is Faiza dia macam understand dia punya konsep diamond dia punya ideation to diamond. Dia macam buat research menyeluruh apa yang dia nak, apa yang dia dapat daripada diamond tu dia try untuk masuk dalam dia punya design. Dia macam terlalu detail, so bagus. So sebab tu dia punya apa yang terjadi, apa hasil dia tu macam boleh kita relate dengan diamond dia kan, dia punya konsep. So Faiza pun dia punya pot very kemas, nampak apa yang dia nak. Itu je lah. Dekat ikon.
Okay. Lagi? Ipe?
For me, I love the hand gesture that he used. Really often he used the hand gesture is really good, and the elaboration of the research that he make that show that he make many research, and the board is okay, even there is no contact, but it colored, so okay lah, okay. And maybe the projection of his voice like too boring.
Linggo dia
There's
kan?
no tone.
Betul, linggo dia.
There is no tone. And for the element that he put in his studio part, which the wall behind the pot, which we can use it for many things lah, to put the tool or everything. That's all.
Okay. Aku macam takut lah komen tengok muka Faiza macam tak puas hati.
Yes.
Macam email komen.
Ada different of
Marah. Baik kau play dulu.
Nak suruh dia tidur.
few of them.
Okay.
Ni jom.
Okay. Okay. Barulah aku okey sikit nak komen. Tadi tu takut tengok muka dia. So bagi aku dia punya presentation good. Dia semua lepas tu dia punya language
Sorry.
apa tu advance. Dengar tak? Kita sekat.
Jadi
Sekat
robot
tadi.
je tadi.
Sekarang okey. Tadi tersekat.
Oh.
Okey, sekarang tersekat.
Okay. So okay. So bagi aku okay tak? La tersekat kita. La
Tersekat sikit.
Sikit.
Ni video reaction apa yang
Sekarang tu sekali tak?
Okey kot. Okey. Cepat.
Okay. So dia pilihan dia punya language dia advance lah, bukan dia language dia ada sekolah lagi kan. Cuma macam yang Ipe cakap tadi, Ifan cakap tadi, dia punya intonation dia sama je dari awal sampai akhir tu. Dia tak ada intonation yang bagi orang tak rasa bosan nak tengok sampai akhir lah. Tapi nak cakap pasal dia punya board lebih kurang dia punya board okey, cuma macam itulah, kita kan sebab kebanyakan dari kita tak buat konteks dalam studio kan, so lag dia kat situ lah. Dan dia dari segi intipati kat dalam board tu dia lagi advance lah daripada yang lain, sebab dia tadi building construction kan. So rasa itu je kot. Yang lain overall semua rasa itu je kot.
Sebab yang ada yang construction detail macam Adam, FAIZA dia letak construction detail kat dia punya board. So kita tahu dia nak buat macam mana kan. Kita tahu macam mana dia akan teruskan dia punya design tu. Mungkin isi dia panjang, lepas tu intonasi dia sama, mungkin viewers cepat rasa bosan lah. Apart from that, everything okay je FAIZA. So no offense lah from us. Okay, well
No
done.
offense. Well done tu. Mantap.
4/5.
4.56.
Aku 4.9999999.
Laju tak nak bagi 5.
Okay. Dia kurangnya sebab apa tak bagi 5, 0.101 tu kurang dekat senyum tadi. Kalau dia senyum tadi dia bagilah.
Kalau dia tak tidur, aku kasih tadi. So, dia ngantuk sikit buat malam tu. Tak ada, no offenses. No offenses lah.
Gerak. Sorry Peja.
Nanti aku belanja green tea KK1. Terima kasih.